I have my little off-brand Dayquil pills that I'm gonna pop right now too. Yum. Good morning. I have terrible news. I'm still sick. I woke up and thought maybe I'll feel better this morning, but I slept for 11 hours last night, which is very uncharacteristic. I never sleep that much. I woke up at like 8, which I guess to a lot of people that's normal, but I'm usually up many hours earlier. So that always means I am sick, and I'm convinced that it's a sinus infection because I just feel it all in my face, like all here and up in my head. It's just in my face, and I'm super fatigued, and that's just, I'm so prone to those things. My whole family is for some reason, and this is usually the time of year that it happens in the fall, usually after periods of really high stress for me is when I get those too. And with everything with my move out to Utah and training 80 to 90 miles a week, which has been going great, but it's a lot on my body, and working 40-hour weeks, and then just being really stressed about uncertainties of work and future stuff and all that. I think it finally caught up to me, and I think my body was just kind of like, if you don't stop, then we're gonna make you. So here we are. I'm taking today off of running because there was no way I was gonna get through 13 miles this morning and be okay, because I just don't feel good. So I thought maybe I'll see how it feels this evening, but I think I should just take today totally off, which again is really hard for me to do. I hate days off. I preach to my athletes that if you need to take a day off, you take a day off. It's not the end of the world, especially if you're sick. You're really not going to gain anything from pushing through that. But I'm a very classic do as I say, not as I do person, and it's really hard for me to take my own advice. But I'm going to make myself do it anyways. If anything, I might just go to the gym in the evening, and just do some of my strength work. But we're going to see, because I'm not going to push anything, because I need to get healthy. So I think instead, today, I'm going to probably go to urgent care and see if they can give me some antibiotics to just knock this sinus infection out. Because again, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't think it's anything else. And yep, just sitting here, drinking my coffee. I'll play around with some more editing stuff on these videos, but a bit of a bummer because I wanted to make like just another video today, and I will, but it just won't be that entertaining because I'm just gonna be here sick. So I'll find some. Sorry, that's my dog. Hang on. Anyways, I'll find something to talk about. There's always something. So in the meantime, sipping coffee. Probably not the best in terms of recovery from being sick, but it makes me happy. And I have Spider-Man on in the background, and I'm gonna play around with some computer stuff because I'm learning, and this is my new project. Oh, I guess the other thing too is, I'm just gonna ramble. So for this first week that I'm making these videos, my goal is to make one every day this week, and then I'm not gonna do that like every single week, just because I think that's a surefire way to getting burnt out of doing it, and I want it to be a consistent thing. So it'll probably be like one video a week, maybe. I think that would be a good goal. But for this week though, just so I can deep dive into it, just get going, I want to do one every day this week. So I'm sure some days will be more interesting than others. Like today is probably not going to be the most interesting, but I've already talked for 73 seconds. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say right now. So I'll be back. Well, I've been laying in bed for the past couple hours and just got myself up because my mother gave me a recipe for some homemade tea that's supposed to make you feel real good when you're sick. So at Smith's now, this is gonna be a really uneventful video today, but I'm at Smith's now. I'm gonna go get those ingredients and go home and make it. So super cool. I'm really upset that I'm sick. It's annoying, but oh well. And I have my little off-brand Dayquil pills that I'm gonna pop right now too. Yum. I had to go to like 2 different stores, but I got all my ingredients for my tea. Well, I have honey already, but I did buy more honey. Okay, so lemon juice, lemongrass, some garlic, ginger root, turmeric root, which I've never actually used fresh turmeric root before. Okay, so I got all my ingredients prepared. My water's boiling right there. So this is what, I don't really know. I hope that you could see that on there from what I just showed. Yeah. So there's my ingredients. My ginger, my turmeric, this little carrot looking guy. I should have gotten a whole lemon is what I'm realizing, but I just squirted some of that lemon juice into my water pot. So yeah, we'll toss the rest of the stuff in and let it boil. Oh God, ow, that was dumb. Cool. My tea is ready. Ooh, yum. Kind of tastes like broth. Okay, actually it's kind of good. A little spicy from the ginger. The garlic is an interesting flavor. Some lemon, some lemongrass. It's kind of good. I kind of like it. It's kind of a weird flavor combo, but like in a good way. So hopefully this does some like voodoo magic on me and makes me feel better tonight, because I literally just because I want to go for a run tomorrow. That's the only reason why. So there's my tea. I'm gonna go finish updating my training log because that's what I've been doing. So yeah, my training log is a super nice tool in terms of my training. I started doing physical copies of training logs in college. I always had a Strava that I would upload to, and I put, like, I title those and I put comments and stuff in them, and I like to make like funny comments and funny titles and stuff, but I'll also make like put things that actually are important to note in there, like how I was feeling and everything. And then I have my physical copy of my training log, which I just pretty much transcribe everything into. Well, you can see that there. And it's just great because in college we would always turn in a log at the beginning of each week on a Monday, and our coaches would take them, read through all of our logs, and then they would respond to us in our logs just in writing. And so that was like an easy way to kind of just keep communicating, keep constant communication between athletes and coaches. When I started coaching at Western last year, it was just, you know, flips, and then I was getting training logs turned into me. And so then I would read them and reply and give feedback and all that good stuff. And so it's just a really nice way for all of just the athletes and the coaches, like I said, just to keep in touch, basically. Because it is hard on a college team with just a couple coaches. You can't just be checking in with every single person every single day. So it just makes it a lot easier that way. The reason I still keep one now is because I'm very type A. I really like to plan. I really like to keep records of like what I'm doing and things that I've done. And I really love to have things just on paper and the process of writing things out. So I keep one now still because it feels like a nice routine, honestly. When I'm done with a workout, done with a run, come back and fill out the training log, immediately put down my thoughts and how I was feeling that day. And it's nice for me now, since my coach is back in San Diego and I'm here in Utah. It's a good way for me to just kind of keep in check with myself and my training, if that makes sense. And so I can go back through my training log and flip through, look through, notice any trends or anything with how I've been feeling. Like sometimes I'll write, you know, I felt really exhausted today, and sometimes that happens, and that's totally normal. But when that starts to happen every single day and it's like pretty consistent, and then it goes across multiple weeks, sometimes I don't always recognize that until I see it in the writing, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been writing about how tired I am every single day. So that's just something I should notice and do something about. Like maybe get some extra sleep, maybe take an easier day, eat more, drink more water, fluids. You know, there's a vast array of things that could cause that. But that's just one of the reasons that I really like it, because it just helps me keep in touch with myself too. Yeah, and then, I mean, for the athletes that I coach, I have them all on the platform Final Surge. And so I don't have like physical copies of logs from them because we're not in the same physical location. So that would make it kind of hard. But it's the same sort of concept with that. I'll have them put in comments about how their workouts went too. And the nice thing about Final Surge is that it connects to Strava automatically. So if you just link your Strava account to it, it uploads all of your Strava activities into Final Surge, and then the athletes can go in and put their comments about how their workouts went, and then I can go in and I can reply to their comments, or sometimes I'll just shoot them a text or something like that, just to kind of keep in touch with them. But yeah, so that's kind of what my training log is. It's a super good tool to use. I really highly recommend every runner use a training log if they're, well, I was gonna say if they're training for something seriously, but in all honesty, like, you could totally keep a little training log too if you're just running just for fun. It's kind of nice just to have and just to look back on your runs. And it's like almost like a little diary. Like sometimes just your entries that you'll write in there. At least for me, I'll just put things that were like on my mind, you know, how I was like, I'll write about little snippets of things like outside of running sometimes too. Like I'll write a little comment about like what I'm going to be doing later that day or things like that. So again, it's just a cool little thing to have, and I just really recommend it. And you can decorate it and make it all personal, so that's fun. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep on sipping my tea, and again, hopefully feel better, a little better tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So I think that might be about it from me for today. This was probably a pretty boring video because all I did was talk about how I'm sick and I didn't really do anything because I've just been home all day because I couldn't really do anything. So that's all I've really got for you. And hopefully tomorrow might be a little more interesting, or it might not. TBD. We shall see. All right. Well, bye.